Go ahead and start here with Paul to Tyson's right.
Tyson and I, they looked, they were like a step quicker than you guys tonight, whether it be offensive rebounds or open looks.
Just gotta give them credit. They brought it tonight and we didn't. They older veteran team and they was ready. They came out ready to play, and we obviously didn't come out ready to play. So we gotta get back to practice and work harder.
Tyson, do you think the long layoff hurt you guys, or was it just not your night tonight?
Well, usually after a long layoff, you can come back sluggish, but there's no excuse. We still gotta bring it every night and treat every game just like it's the most important game of the season, because it is.
Tyson, it looks like the help side defense, at least in the first half, was a little bit off. The rotations were a little bit slow. What were you seeing maybe, and what adjustment did you guys make at halftime?
We weren't covering their roll-offs as much as they were getting layups. So we just weren't getting off to the ball and help side. Like you said, we weren't doing our jobs.
Any other questions for Tyson before we'll go ahead and get Tyler over here? Second row on the right of Tyson.
You mentioned that they might have played a little harder than you guys. What can you guys do before a game, or maybe even make an in-game adjustment to kind of pick up that intensity and make sure you are matching their level of the way they're playing?
That's something you got to bring every night. That's what we got to bring intensity with us every night. That's what we've been doing. Just today we didn't have it because that's something to our strength. Defense has been a strength, and that comes from intensity. But today we didn't have no intensity. We didn't play no good defense.
Got time for a couple more before we get the Louisiana Tech coach in here.
You mentioned that help side defense. Do you feel like that was kind of what was working for them and getting those open threes down the stretch? I know they hit a couple, at least in the last 4 minutes. Is that kind of what you were seeing?
Yeah, it was a couple of those plays down the stretch. You know, they hit some big shots. Every time we would get a chance to come back, you know, they'll hit another big shot. And we got to do a better job of not hanging our heads too early. After they hit a shot, you know, we still got to keep playing because it still be plenty of time. We got to keep chipping away.
Anything else for Tyson? All right, thank you, guys.
That's a very tough loss against a very good and well-coached team. You have to give them credit and tip their hat. Their veteran players really stepped up. They had great balance. I thought the first half, to allow them 57% shooting from the field was critical. And, we had a chance to have a lead. We shouldn't have been down 3. It's my fault. They were doubling the ball screen when Iverson had the ball quite a bit, and that was causing some problems. So we were going 4 flat, and he shot the ball too early at the end of the first half, and therefore they were able to get that 3 that gave them some momentum going into halftime, banking it in. I mean, worst case scenario, you're taking the last shot, so they can't score at the other end, and that's just something that it's a freshman mistake that he'll learn from and grow from. But credit Louisiana Tech. That's a very good team. You can see why they're projected as an NCAA tournament team by Lenardi and bracketology. Disappointed with our defense tonight. I just thought our defense at times was really poor. The first half, we got beat on something we worked a lot on. We weren't helping on the roll-offs. It seemed like they had – I didn't see the pull up for me in there where it shows where the baskets were made from. But I felt like they had a lot of layups in the paint in the first half in half-court offense. And then too many offensive rebounds. We allowed them to get 14 offensive rebounds in the first half for the game, but it's just way too many offensive rebounds. Yeah, a lot of shots around the basket in that first half.
Again, Olivia's got the microphone. We'll take questions for Coach. We'll start with Paul to Coach's right in the second row.
Don't you feel like the layoff kind of hurt you, or is it just a matter of never getting in a rhythm tonight on defense?
Yeah, it's hard to say, how much you can put on that. It's a long stretch to go without playing, granted. But you'd rather play. What did hurt us probably a little bit was timing it like this, because our guys are stressed working on their finals. They have finals tomorrow. Probably stupid on my part to schedule that game tonight, the day before finals, and it maybe would have been better to schedule a little earlier in the week where they're not quite so stressed. But you can't make excuses. Give them credit. I mean, they beat us here on our home floor. That's something that they take a lot of pride in. If you looked at their, press release, all the different wins they've had over the last 6-7 years on the road. And it's something I made evident to our players. I wanted them to know that. And, they had tough, hard-nosed, older guys that didn't get rattled. We got up to a great start. I think, 10-3 or we were up pretty good there. And, they had one long rebound. We got to do a better job blocking out. We didn't get the foul line enough either tonight. We got the foul line 12 times. We got to get the foul line more than 12 times. And Reggie Perry did not shoot a foul shot tonight. So that's just not enough, for him. We want him to get the line 6 to 8 times a game. But credit them. I mean, I think that, this is a tough pill to swallow, but hopefully we'll learn from it as we come back and watch this film and try to grow as a team and get better.
We'll keep it to the right and Tyler.
Tyson was just in here and said that they might have been more intense and they brought it and you guys didn't. Where do you feel like the intensity level of your team was tonight?
I'll watch the film. I thought it was good in the first half. I really did. I thought we made a lot of mental mistakes, though, in terms of the defensive lapses. When you're talking about those layups that we gave up, stuff that we had Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and the day of the game to prepare for what they ran. And there wasn't a lot of surprises. There was maybe one play they ran, but they were beating us off the bounce. We've got to learn from it. I mean, it's a sting. Losing hurts, and especially losing at home. I thought we had a great crowd tonight. I thought they were behind us. I mean, there were a lot of positives going into the game. And again, give them credit. I mean, Bracy, shooting 31% on the year. He's 4 for 4 tonight from 3, including the banker. I mean, they made some difficult shots, and give them credit.
Go ahead and get it to the front and Garrick.
Ben, the 14 offensive boards allowed, do you think that was a little bit of bad positioning or just bad luck?
I think it was, I think we're having an issue blocking out. And especially when shots were taken long. Like we had a big lead, 10-3, I believe, and they had a long rebound, went over our heads where we were going in to rebound it. They get it back, they grind it out, they get a 3. So now it's 10-6 or 10. It was 10-6 or 10-7. I mean, they hit a big 3 on a early. Where we had a chance to make a run there and get off to a great start and build a good lead.
Ben, you mentioned that play at the end of the half. What were you guys kind of looking for? I mean, was Iverson spotting up the
we
shot?
had 4 guys flat to the baseline. Iverson was supposed to drive with 7 seconds to go and try to get to the rim and create something either for himself or somebody else where there was no ball screen coming, so they couldn't double him. Now, you give them credit. They were playing off Abdul, who was going to pin down at 7 seconds. And, again, it's probably my fault for running that play because it's not something we had worked on a lot. But I wasn't comfortable running a ball screen at the end of possession because they were going to double them.
Go ahead and get it to Jalen to coach us right on the first row.
Coach, Reggie had 6 shot attempts in the first half and ended the game with 10. Was it you got the ball to him early on the low post? And in the second half, they was doubling on the low post. What was the difference?
They were doubling him the whole game. We got it to him a couple times early before the double could get there, essentially is what happened. And, he made some nice passes out of it. We scored out of it. When you look at this, again, we shot well enough from the field, 47%, to win this game. Our defense in both of our losses is what's really, to me, let us down. I mean, you look at 10 for 16 from 3. They shoot 48% from the field, and a lot of them were second chance opportunities on offensive rebound. Even late in the game there, you could hear the crowd groan. And I felt like maybe we were tired. I'm not using our bench enough. I probably should play Prince more and spread out the minutes and rebound better. But where they had 2 misses where everybody just kind of watched to see who was going to rebound instead of going to get it yourself. You guys know what plays I'm talking about? Yeah, those were big.
Ben, you mentioned the three-point shooting. How much of that did you see was what they were doing or maybe what you guys weren't doing on that front?
Well, some of them were definitely open, and you have to give them credit. I mean, they had some open looks where we made mistakes, really made mistakes. And we made a bunch of mental mistakes, not, knowing the personnel. And again, I'll watch the film right now and study it further. But I felt like you got to know the personnel. That's why we go over it so detailed, so that when you switch to someone else's man, you still know what his, tendencies are.
Anything else for Coach? All right,
Okay,
thank you, guys.
thank
We'll
you.
see you next week.